When you think of Hawaii, do you think of it as your next vacation spot, or do you stop to think about how it may affect the Native Hawaiians and the local residents that are here? My informative speech is about how Native Hawaiian culture seems to slowly be dying and Native Hawaiians being driven out due to the tourism, overpopulation, and homelessness that happens in Hawaii. Tourism, I will not lie, brings in a lot of money to the state, but it's all not good. There is a lot of negative effects that it has on our environment. For one, to keep up with the demand of tourists that come in and out of the state every year, which is in the thousands to millions, there's a lot of construction for more hotels and more resorts, which lead to a lot of pollution in our air as well as making a lot of our native species sick. Another example is when you come to Hawaii, you do not want to be a red lobster, so you will wear sunscreen. You are not the only person to be wearing sunscreen. And that going into our oceans slowly in the chemicals that are in the water kills our coral reefs. If you go to some place, the Hanauma Bay, the coral reefs used to be beautiful, but because of the amount of tourism that happens, it now looks like this. And it's a little sad, but this is just one of the negative effects that tourism has on Hawaii. So, because Hawaii is such a big tourist spot, it leads to a lot of overcrowding and overpopulation. And because of this, it is now dubbed as one of the most expensive housing markets on the country. And if you look at this graph, we have about a 1.4 million population, and just to live comfortably here, you need to be making at least 200,000. But the average salary is 53,000. You can see how that much is disconnected and why a lot of Native Hawaiians are struggling to live on their land. This is showing that a lot of Native Hawaiian and local residents have to be making quite a bit of money or working more than just one job because they will not be able to keep up with the cost. If you also look from the overcrowding, it says on the website by Brown Political that tourists take up about 44.7% of our water supply. That is quite a bit. It is almost half of Hawaii's water supply. That leaves a lot of local residents to have restrictions on how much they're allowed to water their lawn as well as wash their cars, which makes residents very upset because they are being restricted as tourists are not and are able to use our water supply as they would like. And since we live on an island, we cannot just expand our housing wherever we want, and this leads the cost of everything going up. So from another graph here, and you can see that the minimum wage is about $10.20 per hour, but the housing wage is about $25.88 per hour just for a 2-bed apartment. Now that kind of disconnect, it's half of what you would basically need to just get a 2-bed apartment. And that drives a lot of Native Hawaiians out onto the streets and contributes to a lot of homelessness because we just cannot seem to be able to live comfortably and cannot keep up with a high cost of living here. And this makes a lot of Native Hawaiians move to the mainland, as we call it, to try to find affordable housing and better incomes for their families so that they're not stranded on the streets. And although Hawaii has been changing from paradise to a modern day city, it's leaving a lot of Native Hawaiians high and dry. So I hope through this speech you've learned a little more about how tourism, overpopulation, and homelessness has been affecting Native Hawaiians and the culture surrounding. Thank you.